Hal, when we get to the rooftop, Hal will tell you why it's the most popular place in the ballpark. I trusted Hal on this one. Okay? We'll come down inside, we'll go visit a nice restaurant. Depending on our time, we'll try to hit one of the suites, down to the club level, and then down to visitors clubhouse. The pictures out by the field. This is the off season. In the off season, what we do is a lot of repairs to the ballpark. We won't get into dugouts because they're working on the floors of the dugouts and the railing, but we'll get down at field level, by the dugouts, and get some good photos. You good? Any questions before we go to the restaurant? No? Okay. Okay, 11. Maybe count to 11. 13 now, I don't know. But the guys in the picture, these four guys are four of the best players the Rockies ever had. They were called the Blake Street Bombers. The ballpark's on Blake Street, so that's how they got their name. The other interesting, well, they're all good hitters. They all hit over 300 multiple seasons. They all hit 40 or more home runs multiple seasons. When they all played at the same time, the Rockies won 7 consecutive National League batting titles as a team. So pretty good. And the other interesting thing is they're all from different countries. Baseball is an international sport. Almost a third of the players this year were from countries other than the United States. If you look at our picture, we have Vinny Castilla. He's from Mexico. Just reading an article on, anybody knows who Jorge De La Rosa is? He's a Rocky pitcher who's won more games than any other Rocky pitcher. Just got inducted into the Mexican Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. He chose to wear his Rockies hat on his statue down there. Vinny's from Mexico. He's also in the Mexican Hall of Fame. Next to him is Andres Galarraga, the big cat from Venezuela. Next to him is Larry Walker, and that's the way the announcer always said it, but I forgot his name. Larry Walker, he's a good Canadian boy. And on the end is Bo Bichette's father. He used to be called Dante Bichette, but now he's just Bo Bichette's father. And Bo is from the United States. We all good? Questions? Let's go down the hall and take a look at the field. Signs last year, we played a season in low A. Good start to his low A. Okay? So, history of baseball in Colorado. We've been playing baseball here for a long time. The first time we had a Major League Baseball, had a baseball game recorded was back in 1862. So we've been following baseball a long time. Abraham Lincoln was president, right, Hal? Okay, yes, okay. So, 1862. 1888, we joined something called the Western League. Because back in those days, when a team from the East Coast traveled west, they stopped at the Mississippi River. There was no leagues west of the Mississippi, so we were part of forming the Western League. In 1948, we became a minor league franchise, mostly with the Yankees. Some Yankee guys, you ever heard of that Don Larson guy that pitched the only perfect again? He played in Colorado. Billy Martin, who was known for behaving really well, learned all that stuff here in Colorado. Now, never mind. Okay, so we were oftentimes a Yankee minor league franchise. We had our major league team awarded to us in 1991. We wanted 2 expansion teams, along with the then Florida Marlins, who are now the Miami Marlins.
That's right.
We started playing in 1993, but we didn't play here because we had to build Coors Field. We started playing at what everybody lovingly calls the old Mile High Football Stadium, which really started out in 1948 as a Denver Bear baseball ballpark that sat about 15,000. But the Broncos come to town and they made that place way bigger, made it suitable for football, but we had to find a place. So for 2 years we played over what we'll call the old Mile High. When we played our very first game at Old Mile High, we drew a small crowd. Well, we drew more people than we could sell tickets to. We sold 80,227 tickets to one baseball game. That's a lot of tickets. By the end of the first year, we had 4.5 million tickets sold. The second year, we're on track to beat that attendance record. So we're halfway done building Coors Field, this beautiful 43,000 seat ballpark. When you sell almost 9 million tickets, you call the architects up and what do you tell them? We have good news and bad news. The good news is you're going to earn some more money. The bad news is you have to make this place bigger. I know you're halfway done, but you have to make it bigger. Oh, and oh, by the way, the rest of the bad news is we still have the same opening day that we had when you were building a 43,000 seat ballpark. So Coors Field now holds over 50,000 people, making it the second highest capacity ballpark in all the major leagues, second only to Dodger Stadium that holds 56,000. Okay, so that's how we got our attendance up. We started playing here in 1995. It took us 2.5 years to build Coors Field. It cost a mere $215.5 million, which back in the day was a lot of money, not so much anymore, right? You might get a backup second baseman for that these days, but we built the ballpark for $215.5 million, paid for it 3 ways. First way, the ownership put some money in. Second way, here it goes. The easiest question on the tour. We all ready? Don't let anybody miss this one. Somebody bought the naming rights to Coors Field. I can't make the questions any easier than that, right? Coors Brewing Company gave us $15 million for naming rights. We thought that was a wonderful deal. Not so much, because they paid us one time and it's Coors Field forever. That was pretty bad, huh? Yeah, most ballparks get that every year for naming rights. We got it one time. It's kind of nice. It's always going to be Coors Field. It's sort of like you think of Fenway, you think of the Red Sox, you think of Wrigley, you think of the Cubs. Coors Field, you'll always think of the Rockies. We're going to be playing here until the place falls down. We happen to be the third oldest ballpark in the National League, surprisingly, even though we opened in 1995. That's why we work so hard to make this place look good in the off-season, do a whole bunch of repairs. The third way we paid for the ballpark is we passed a bond issue. Now, this is a part of town before you put the ballpark in that no one wanted to come to. It's the worst part of town. Put the ballpark in, everybody wanted to be here. So every time somebody spent $10 in Denver and the surrounding counties, we got a bright shiny penny, not just any penny, a bright shiny penny at 0.1% tax. We brought so much business into downtown Denver, we paid our 20-year bond off in 8.5 years. We built that football stadium across the street off the same bond. So it's newer than us. It's already had 3 names. And they're probably going to tear it down in another year or 2 and build a new one. But this will be Coors Field forever. Pretty good, right? Questions about the history?
Question on Zephyrs. So
yeah.
I went to a Zephyr game when I was here in 85 through 93. So you said that 2 years they went to Mile High?
Yeah.
But only 2 years. What years were those?
It was 93 to 95.
Okay.
And then we started here in 95.
Okay. So I guess went to 93 games.
And the Zephyrs went to New Orleans, became the Baby Cakes, and then they moved to Oklahoma or something, and then they stopped playing. So, good question. Okay? They were the Denver Bears before they were the Zephyrs. Yeah, okay. Other questions? Let's talk about something in this ballpark that is younger than Riley. The grass. We put new grass in at the end of, or we had some concerts at the end of the season. This grass is about a month old. About every 5 to 6 years, you have to replace major league grass. It wears out. It actually sinks because it's put on sand and pea gravel. If you can't get it sinking too much or it's out of kilter, so we put new grass in here about a month ago. Okay? A lot of grass. We have so much grass and we have the largest fair ball playing surface in all of Major League Baseball. Now why do you need a big field? We play at elevation. The air is thinner. When you hit a baseball in thin air, it's going to go farther than at sea level. So we're really smart. We said, let's build the biggest outfield, and that keeps the number of home runs way down, right? He's already shaking his head. No, I didn't finish the question. Did not work. We were still setting records for the most home runs. Something else was affecting the baseball. One of our engineers, a guy by the name of Tony, said, you're looking at the wrong problem. What's really affecting the baseball is we are a semi-arid climate. We used to get baseballs like everybody else, 200 dozen at a time, and stick them in the hallway. In a semi-arid climate, you stick the balls in the hallway, what happens? They dry out and get harder. If you hit them, it goes farther. So Tony created what only he calls the environmental control chamber for baseballs. The rest of us lovingly call it the humidor. So like cigars have humidors, so do baseballs. We're the first humidor, now every team has one to keep baseballs consistent. Once we put the humidor in, the number of home runs then did go down to about league average. But we're still a good hitter's park. Well, why is that? Well, we still got the big outfield. And if you're a pitcher, you don't come to Coors Field looking to pitch. It is the hardest place to pitch because when you throw a breaking ball in thin air, it won't break as much. But why is that? Well, you got to think about this German scientist, Heinrich, what's his last name? Heinrich Magnus, German scientist, come up with something called the Magnus effect. That explains how a baseball curves. You throw a baseball, it spins. When it's spinning, the air hits the stitches. When it hits the stitches, it curves. If you have thin air, what happens when you're trying to throw a curveball? It won't curve as much. A sinker won't sink as much, a slider won't slide as much. So it's hard to pitch in Coors Field because the pitcher can't make mistakes. And then you got the big outfield. There's balls that get hit over the outfielders' heads here or in front of them because they got to cover more ground than the outfield. Give you two quick statistics to show it's a hitter's park. Number one, where's my Reds guys? Cincinnati Reds have been playing baseball since about 1869, and they've got 9 batting titles. We've been playing baseball since 1993, and I can't even do it by myself. We have 11 batting titles. It's a hitter's park. Well, another real quick statistic that shows the hitter's park. We all know what a cycle is. It's a single, double, triple, and home run by one player in one game, right? 2 Major League ballparks are tied with the most cycles in their history with 18 cycles. One of them would be Coors Field. We just finished our 30th anniversary. We have had 18 cycles in 30 years, well, 31 years. Ties us with Fenway Park. It's taken them, 113 years to do what it took us 30 years. So it's still a hitter's park. Okay? Questions about any of that stuff? Sir?
How long before a game are the balls taken out of the humidor?
They're taken out just before, when the umpires, before they come out to the field, they'll go get to the humidor with a guy who, he's got the best job in baseball. His job is to watch when the baseballs get taken from the humidor, walk down to the dugout, put in the barrel, and his job is for the whole day watch baseballs. So just before the game, we'll get him out because we don't want any effect of anything drying out. And we'll put a little lid on it and dugout so it doesn't dry out during 9 innings. Okay? Good question. Sir?
I think maybe I'm doing it. I think that I've seen balls go over the top stands. Is that true?
Well, Hal, we're going to talk about long home runs. When we talk about long home runs, ask me the question again. Because if we can get a better look, we get a better spot. Okay? Sir?
Why do they replace the grass now and not after winter? And how do they protect it in winter?
But it lets it settle in. It's actually better to put it in now. And what we do with the grass is, and we don't cover the outfield with grass. We cover the infield. Let it get settled in, let it get going. But on opening day, this grass is going to look as green, if not greener than it is now. The only green grass in Colorado in April is this grass. And the way it looks good is we have a heating system under the field. We're one of 3 ballparks that have one. We have a hydronic system with tubing all under the field. About the middle of February, we're going to put hot water and glycol through the tube. grass is not the smartest thing around, right? It says, it must be spring, I better start growing. So it grows. In the summer, when we get a whole string of 95-degree days, it's not a problem. We're going to put cold water glycol through the tubing and the grass doesn't stress out. We play in elevation, the air's thinner. We aerate the grass from above, but we also supplement that by forcing air, oxygen into the grass roots from underneath the field. So this is going to look good every day next year. Good question. Yes, ma'am.
What are the other two fields that have the underground?
Minnesota, now that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And Minnesota gets nippy in the springtime.
Right.
Seattle, for some reason that I don't know. And those two are electronic systems. We tried that, but the wires kept breaking. This is a better system. We put it in 2020, and it's been working perfectly since. Good? Other questions?
I got one.
Is there
Yeah.
any effects that because of our altitude, weather on the statement structure?
No, no. This structure is just fine. Well, let me back up.
Weird things, you know what I mean?
Well, weird things. We're going to go up to the rooftop in a little bit, and you're going to tell us all about it. Up on the rooftop, where it's exposed to the sun and dry air, we replace the concrete up there more often than most ballparks do. All these 50,000 seats in the ballpark, we replace every seat about once every 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Because the sun in Colorado, closer to the sun, it beats down, they get brittle, and they turn white. But you can't have white seats in a ballpark, right, for obvious reasons. So it will affect those parts. I don't know if there's anything else you can think of, Don? Elevation, altitude, I think there's two that come to mind. Questions?
What type of grass do they use?
It's 4 strands of Kentucky bluegrass
Kentucky
grown
blue.
just to the north of here, specific for this environment. We good? Now that I answered your question, here's my question. Now, Mr. Yankee, how many Yankees does it take to hang a curtain?
Oh, man.
Only one if it's A-Rod. Let's go down the hallway. Pleasant surprise for us. We don't do that in our turf. I got to stand at shortstop just like Cameron did when he played there. When they played the Negro League game there last year, they spent about $5 million to renovate and update the field. So it's probably still fun, worth visiting, but it's even funner when it looks old. Oh, funner's not a word. Don't teach Riley that word. Okay, so when we talked about when we opened Coors Field, people didn't want to come here until we got the ballpark in. The outfield was over railroad yards. We had to dig up railroad tracks and pieces of boxcars. Across the street were factories and warehouses. We had to tear them all down except this one building we were able to save. This building is 111 years old. And what we decided to do, Coors Field, right? So what are you going to do? Put the very first microbrewery in all the Major League Baseball inside a ballpark. We did it here. We called this Sandlot. So we walk inside the Sandlot. Has anybody been in there? Where's Hal? You been in there? Oh, Hal, come on. Okay. They produce some good stuff here. We passed by the Wall of Fame, a lot of award-winning beer. I didn't know if he even do that, but he does for Belgium. Okay? He said, bring them in, but we're not going to make Coors and Coors Light. We're going to do different stuff. Different formulas, different varietals. You guys get to taste them and see if you like them. If you don't like them, we stop making them. And if you like them, we keep making them. We give them all baseball names. So we'll look at the menu up there. I see a right field red, really popular. We see a left field lager, really popular. The top of the board is something called belly slide wet. Anybody have a belly slide? Yeah, it was so good. After about 5 years, we said let's sell it outside the ballpark. The belly slide is not the best name for a fancy restaurant, so let's rebrand it. We sat around the table, the assistant to the brewmaster took a sip, and she said, you know, an ale this good comes around once in a blue moon. Blue moon was invented in the vats down here. Yeah, I don't think any of this stuff up. Well, sometimes, but not that one. Okay? And if you like Blue Moon, come to the ballpark. Anybody can come in here and order it right from the tap. It's the best Blue Moon you'll ever get. It's made right down there. But up to here, it's not stored in a bottle, it's not stored in a can. It's got more spunk to it than any other Blue Moon you've ever tasted. When you come in here during a game, come in here and order a belly slide. Out in the main concourse, you order a Blue Moon. It's better than here.
Better than at the Coors Brewery?
Yeah. Because they've actually modified their formulas a little bit because they're packaging up to ship it all over the country. This is the real stuff. Good questions. Other questions?
We were there the other day and tried it.
Yeah, well, it's still good, but this is even better. All right, let's head up to the rooftop so Hal has a chance to show off all he knows. Yeah. We sold out the first 203 games we played at Coors Field. It's a lot of tickets. 203 games at 50,000 seats a game. Over time, there's a part of the ballpark that didn't sell out. It's as far from the field as it could be. It was always in the sun. No one wanted to sit there. So we said, well, you know, we want Hal to have a good time in the ballpark, so let's modify the ballpark. We're going to take out 3,300 seats. We're going to put in a 38,000 square foot two-tier observation deck, which is what I'm allowed to call it. Hal can say a party deck if he wants to, but I can't call it a party deck. Put in an observation deck for people to come to the ballpark. We're going to go up there and we'll talk about why it's so popular, how much fun it is. It's now the most popular place in the entire ballpark. Right, Hal? Okay, let's go upstairs then. Okay, rooftop. Try not to get blown off the rooftop before the tour's done. It's really windy this morning. It's supposed to die down by another hour or so. Arizona, just over 1,000 feet above sea level. Okay, so place different here. Gives you another good look at how big the field is. If you want to buy a ticket to the rooftop, last year it cost about $17 for a standing room only seat. And if everybody knows what an oxymoron is, it's two words that make no sense put together. If we're not sold out, we have a standing room only section with seats. Down in the corner, if we're not sold out, you can go sit down. If we're sold out, you gotta stand. But $17 is a good price for a ticket. And $6 of that is food and beverage credit. That makes it better, right? And from the time, you ready, Hal? From the time the doors open till first pitch hits,
$1 beers?
$3 beer. Yeah, happy hour. Not many major league ballparks you get a $3 beer. So, and the other nice piece is anybody in the ballpark can come up here and look around and get a $3 beer before the game. So that's part of the reason why it's so popular. Okay. Another reason I like to talk about is you get a good look at our scoreboard. It cost $15 million. We put it in 6 years ago. You also get a good look at the mountains. We have a good look today because the clouds have cleared off. You won't get a view like this in, I don't know, San Francisco. All you see is that water stuff, okay? but yeah, it is pretty nice. But here's your secret. If you come into the ballpark here and you're coming to a night game, leave your seat when it's almost sunset. Come up here, go to the end, take a picture of the sun going down behind the Rocky Mountains. Some of the best sunsets you're ever going to see. We have some snow already on the mountaintops. I think we have, how many ski resorts are open down? 4 or 5 or something? I think it's up to 6 now. Is it 6? Yeah. We have ski resorts up there already open with minimal skiing, but you can ski in the mountains. Today, yesterday, if anybody wants to go skiing, I'm not going with you because I've tried it and I'm not good at it. My wife, when we talk about skiing, she tells me that she goes up to practice falling down and getting up. So, but you can ski up in the mountains, get a nice view. We good? Questions? Grab a picture, we'll go inside and talk about one of the nice restaurants in the ballpark. We are now in a place called the Mountain Ranch Bar and Grill and Mountain Ranch Club. When we opened the ballpark, this was a private restaurant. You had to have a season ticket. You had to have a membership. But over time we thought, other people might want to come and watch a game from a place like this. Young lady, what's your name? Karen? Karen wanted to watch a game here, so we said, let's keep Karen happy. And we changed our policy. People like Karen and anybody else special like her can do 2 things. Number 1, you have to be inside the ballpark. Karen buys a ticket. Any ticket. It doesn't have to be an expensive upscale ticket to come here from the level we're standing on and the one right down below us to watch a baseball game. And the second is not technically a requirement, but I strongly suggest getting a reservation. I've been doing tours for 16 years. I started my first tour saying this is the best kept secret in Coors Field. I've been telling people for 16 years. So go online and try to get a reservation. There's two seatings. First seating is when doors open an hour and a half before the game. Second one is first pitch. If you want to watch the entire baseball game, get a first pitch reservation, any ticket in the ballpark, come up here and we will assign a seat from this level. Again, we're the one right down below us. The windows open up into the ceiling because Karen wants to feel part of the game, not left out. Pretty nice. We serve an all-you-can-eat buffet. For adults, it's $32 for all-you-can-eat for 7 innings. And it's ballpark food, hot dogs, hamburgers, Cracker Jack, plus upscale food. We have the chef always prepares a couple of entrees. He also prepares a charcuterie board, and a salad bar, and a dessert bar, all for the price of $32. Now, if you're under 12, like Riley is, he's not ready to eat all this food yet, but if you're under 12 or under, you can come up here and eat for $17. A guy in the Big Brothers program, if I bring Danny to a baseball game, I'll spend $50 before we find our seat. Now I just bring him here, stick him in the corner. He eats for 6 innings. I'll watch the baseball game, then he comes over and watches the last couple of innings with me. It's a great place to watch a baseball game. Even if you're coming here just one time, give it a try. Go on the Rockies website, look for Mountain Ranch Bar and Grill. We good? Other questions?
Yeah, can you tell us about that ceiling?
Oh, yeah. Back in the days of the old Wild West, when I was just a little boy, a lot of, that was a joke, folks, I'm not that old. Okay, so, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the hotels, a lot of the restaurants in Colorado had tin ceilings. So we put a tin ceiling in here to remind us of our history in Colorado. I have a friend who owned a 120-year-old historical house, and he put a tin ceiling in so it looked like the old house. And I know the days he was working, because my wife would go over and help him, and she'd come home with Band-Aids all over her hands, because that's hard stuff to work with without getting your hands cut. So that's a reminiscence of about 100 and some years ago.
Really beautiful.
It is, yeah, like that. Good? Questions? Let's go down the hall. I think we got time. Yeah, we're doing good. Let's go visit one of the suites real quick. It's now open seating. Get the suite. Get the seats outside the window. Today it's a 24-person suite because you opened up the glass partition. If you've got more friends than that, which I know all you guys do, we open up this one. Now it's 36. So it can be 12, 24, 36. We have a 60-person suite just on the other side of this. We have a 90-person suite down below the right field wall. There's only a chain link fence by the right field foul pole. The suite down there seats 90. We have a suite down the left field line that has 120 people. So whatever size group you have, we can make sure it happens for you. All the windows and doors open up coming in so you feel like you're part of the ballpark. And everybody wants to know how much does it cost, right? Well, I don't know. It depends. We have variable prices like all Major League Baseball teams. Depends on day of the week, day game, night game, who's in town. Last year, the minimum price was about $150 a person, which wasn't bad. Where's my man? He's back to go. Okay, no.
And that includes your ticket.
You get your ticket, you get your food, you get soft drink, you get the seats outside, you get a couple close-in parking spaces across the street. So it's really a pretty good deal. Okay? Last 2 years ago, the last 3 games of the season were a sellout. So you were going to get the bargain prices. Now, why were they a sellout? Well, the last 3 home games of the season, and we're playing the Dodgers. Dodgers travel. The second to last game was Harry Potter night. People rush to the ballpark. I don't know why for Harry Potter night, but they do. The next to the last night was fireworks night, so it was sold out. And the last game was the last game, so it was sold out. Price of this that night was probably about $320, $330 a person. And you buy the suite by the size of the suite. not by how many people come along. We good? But still a pretty nice opportunity to come visit a ballpark. We also, probably a good place, since I can't get through the conference room because we're working on it, we do non-baseball events. We do about 300 non-baseball events every year. And what kind of events do we do? Well, we have softball clinics. We have for young ladies, we have baseball clinics. We have, as Don well knows, we hold high school proms. I was a teacher and we had many a prom here at Coors Field. We have military ball. We have business meetings. We have marriages. People can get married at home plate and hold the reception inside the ballpark. So you name it, we'll figure out a way to make things happen for you. We good? Questions? Go down the steps into the club area. This is club level seating area, another fun place to watch a baseball game. It's really comfortable. The concourses are nice and wide. You have to have a special ticket for club level, but they're not that expensive. Nice wide concourses, easy to get to the restrooms, easy to get to the concession stands. It's also temperature controlled, which comes in handy in Colorado every now and then. If you think back to the year 2014 in April, we were playing the Atlanta Braves, and we set a record. The coldest baseball game in history. It was 23 degrees at first pitch. This place was crowded with people having a good time before the game started. I was outside in my seat. We were about 2/3 full, having a good time. At the end of 9 innings, this was crowded with people having a good time. I waved to the other 6 people that made it through all 9 innings outside on my way to the car and the heater. It gets cold in Colorado every now and then, so temperature control, really important. We also serve a upscale food here, not included in the price, but we have nice carving stations. If you look over at the seats, you'll see they're angled slightly to the left. Now, why would you angle seats? Make our customers comfortable. Most things that happen in a baseball park happen on the infield. You have a pitcher, you got the batter, you got the bases, you got the base runners. All that stuff happens on the infield. You don't have to constantly. Now, I love Wrigley Field, but if I'm at Wrigley Field, I'm looking at my scoreboard instead of the infield because they don't have their seats angled. Only a few ballparks have done it. Most decide not to because you give up capacity. But we're thinking 50,000 enough seats. So we angle them on this side, and the other side we angle them to the right. Okay? If you look out down the right field line by the right field foul pole, you'll see the suite down there that holds 90 people called the warning track party suite. Nothing between you and the right fielder except a chain link fence. Kind of a fun thing to visit. Up above it's a wall. It looks like some empty spaces. It's actually an out-of-town scoreboard, a throwback to the old ballparks. Those scores are changed by hand. There's 2 ladies behind the wall changing the numbers as the scores change in games not being played here at Coors Field. Hopefully now that all our concert season is over, we'll get some numbers put up there as a demonstration of what we can do. But that's an out-of-town scoreboard. Go towards center field. There's a sign that says arrow 5 years out. Rockies bullpen. Go a little farther, Bank of Colorado. That's a visitor's bullpen. Go a little farther, you see a little park out there. We love our parks in Colorado. It's a little miniature Rocky Mountain National Park out there to celebrate our heritage. Inside the park are 3 waterfalls that feed a 6-foot deep pond with 7 fountains. When Rockies take the field, hit a home run and win the game, we're going to shoot the fountains to the top of the batter's eye, which is a solid color wall behind the trees. Every team has to have a solid color object. That's another thing we put in that a lot of other teams are now doing, putting some kind of foliage out in the outfield. Atlanta does, Philadelphia put a bunch of trees out there, so that seems to be the way some teams are going. Up above it, there's a seating area like an upside down U. We see it up there? That is the least expensive seat in Coors Field. If you buy a ticket, don't really go sit there, but if you buy a ticket, because they're metal bleachers with the back, with the cup holder, always in the sun, no wait staff. But if you want to buy an inexpensive ticket to the ballpark, if you're 12 and under, like Riley is, or 55 and older, like I am, you can buy a day of the game rock pile ticket for $1. If you're between those age groups, it usually goes somewhere between $5 and $10. So what are we going to do? We're going to come buy our $1 rock pile ticket. We're going to go get a $3 beer and then go to the Mountain Ranch Bar and Grill and watch a game. Pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
And you can bring your food and beverage into the ballpark. So my wife and I can bring our 2 grandkids to the ballpark for $4. We can make a sandwich at the house if we're on a budget, which I claim we always are. My wife says we're not, but I think we are. So you can bring food in. You can't bring like a watermelon, it's too big and messy. You can't bring in glass metal containers or alcoholic beverage. But other than that, bring your food in, never have to spend another penny at Coors Field. Is that pretty good? Questions? Let's go down the hall some more.
That's a deal.
We can talk about long home runs. Who's my home run guy? Who's going to ask me the question?
You.
Oh, Hal. Okay. Ready, Hal? We're going to talk about long balls hit in Coors Field. Now, how you measure a home run is different. Okay? If you go back in the old days, when Babe Ruth was playing and he hit the 600-foot home run, how do you know how far it went? You found the kid that picked the ball up and said, "Where'd you get it?" "Oh yeah, it's Tuesday, the wind's blowing west, it must be 600 feet. Not very scientific. Then it went to where we would take all our ballparks and measure individual spots. So we know if a ball lands there, it was about 500 feet, whatever, okay? Once we started StatCast 10 years ago, it was all measured scientifically. They measured the angle of the ball, the velocity of the ball, the backspin of the ball, and where it would have landed had it hit nothing. So it started at the batter's bat, went up. If somebody caught it, don't stop counting there. Where it would have landed had it got to the same level. Since we started measuring baseball home runs using StatCast, 4 of the 5 longest home runs have been hit at Coors Field. So I'll give you an example, a couple of them, because you see them better from here. If you look at the right field foul pole, there's a silver bullet bar up on the rooftop. Jesus Sanchez. You can come up by the windows. Jesus Sanchez of the Marlins hit a ball on the platform. That's a pretty good hit. That's 497-foot long home run. That's pretty good?
Yeah.
Now, look up on the rooftop where it says Smashburger. We were standing under that sign, right?
Yeah.
Christian Yelich hit a ball 2 seats from the platform. Dead center field, 499-foot long home run. The longest, well, you would think, yeah. But again, you're measuring the arc. In fact, we'll talk about the longest one, but they don't count. Anyway, if you go down the left field line, there's a sign that says Tundra. By the left field foul pole, our first baseman at the time, C.J. Crone, hit a home run down, hit the platform that says Tundra. That was a 504-foot long home run. Longest home run in Coors Field history. Only one home run longer was hit by Nomar Mazara in Texas, 505 feet. Yeah, right, 1 foot longer, I believe. Okay, so anyway, so those are the long home runs hit here at Coors Field. I'll tell you one that wasn't measured by StatCast. You tell me if you think it went more than 500 feet, okay? Look to the big scoreboard, go to the right, you see King Supers. Go to the right, you see a purple and white sign. It says Platte River.
Yeah.
Mike Piazza back in 1997 hit a ball that hit the sign.
No. Really?
The high sign?
The Platte
The
River
Platte
sign.
sign, oh.
Platte River.
Yeah. In fact, he hit the ball so hard our pitcher ducked. He thought it was a line drive back to the mountain. It just kept rising and hit the sign. Now, it was declared to be a 496-foot long home run. Well, now here's the reason why. Ready? That was back in the days we are so tired of hearing about all the home runs at Coors Field, Coors Canaveral, all that nonsense, right? So the general manager says, I don't want any 500-foot long home runs. So that's obviously 496. Don't ask me to explain. I just tell you, if you look up the record book, that's what it's going to say. Okay?
So I'm dreaming nothing's been hit over the stand. No way.
No,
You
that's,
decide.
now I'm getting there. No fair ball home run has ever left Coors Field. Now, why would that be? We got a big field, right? We got wide concourses. If you hit a home run, you got to miss a lot of stuff. You have to miss the buildings on the rooftop. You have to miss the rock pile seating. You have to miss the big scoreboard. So there's never been a fair ball home run hit all the way out of Coors Field. Tell you one foul ball. Look to the left field foul pole, you go about 20 feet to the left, Andres Galarraga put one out of the ballpark. And we know exactly where it landed because
You hit a car.
That's where the players used to park their cars. Now, what was the good news for Andres? That's back in the day when they drove their pickup trucks and not their Lamborghinis to the ballpark. Now they park behind a big scoreboard where you can't get them. Okay? Questions? Did I get to it, Hal?
Yeah,
Okay?
thank
All right,
you.
let's go around the hall. I've been brought him back home. Mickey is wearing our team colors, are silver, black, and purple. There's a reason for our colors. Silver and black is for mining. Middle 1800s, silver mining brought a lot of people out to Colorado seeking their fortune. They pretty soon went back east because they didn't hit a mine. And they hit any gold, but still we had a lot of silver mining at one point. We still do coal mining. A lot of it's still under the ground, so that's for mining. Purple is not for mining. Purple is for Purple Mountain Majesties. If you go way back to the late 1800s, a lady by the name of Catherine Lee Bates came to visit her best friend at Colorado College. They took a wagon ride to the top of Pikes Peak. She was so inspired, she wrote a poem that about 15 years later was set to music and became America the Beautiful. And when we sing that, we sing about Purple Mountain Majesties. So that's why purple's our primary color. Now on Mickey's left foot is our mascot. His name is Dinger. What's a dinger? Home run. Makes sense, right? Now, we live in an area that have elk and moose and mountain lion, bear, and rainbow trout. So it comes time to pick a mascot, so we obviously pick a dinosaur. Now, there's a reason, okay? You notice when we came in, we had to look down. The field's down below street level. We had to dig it out. We dug 21 feet down. When we were digging down, we found dinosaur bones.
Wow.
When we found bones, we weren't quite sure what they were. We ran them up to the Museum of Nature and Science. Turned out to be 66-million-year-old dinosaur bones. So that's why we chose a dinosaur as our mascot. And the picture on the wall is when we introduced Dinger to our fans back in 1994. Sitting in my seat in left field, this big flatbed truck comes out with a big egg on it. They put the egg on the field, it rolls all around, and out pops a dinosaur. So that's how we introduced Dinger to our fans. Good? Questions? Let's talk about two Rockies real quick, and then we'll head down to the clubhouse.
How many dingers are inside the costume?
He's real. Help. Here. The guy who was the original Dinger has worked his way up the organizational chain. Two Rockies players. These are the two best players we've ever had. The only two Rockies players' numbers we've ever retired. Number 33, Larry Walker. His is the second number we retired, but the first Rocky to enter the Hall of Fame. Larry was a pretty good ball player. Okay? Larry was all about number 33. Oh, Larry, by the way, if you think about Major League Baseball, there's been about 1,950 players play Major League Baseball. Only one Major League Baseball player had a lifetime career average of 320 or higher, on-base percentage of 400 or higher, 500 or more home runs, and 300 or more stolen bases, and this is the guy. Good ball player.
And a gold glove ones too.
A lot of those too. Yeah. He was a 5-tool player. He could do it all. Okay? Now, if Larry had had his way, he would have never played baseball. When he entered the Hall of Fame, we had a celebration for him here afterwards. He walks up to the microphone. Now, Larry's sort of an interesting guy. He walks up and says, I just want to thank you all for being here, but I want you to know, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't sucked as a goalie. He's Canadian. All he wanted to be growing up was a hockey goalie. So I guess he was better at baseball. Okay? Superstitious? Larry was way superstitious. It's all about the number 3. He took 3 practice swings. He actually ended up playing for 3 teams. He won 3 batting titles. He won 3 Silver Sluggers. He would buy tickets for underserved children. He would buy 33 tickets in section 333. He would set his alarm clock for 33 minutes after the hour. He got married November the 3rd at 3:33 in the afternoon. He gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. How many people were in that induction class? 3. So Larry walks up to get his award, and they say, Mr. Walker, welcome to the Hall of Fame. You are the 333rd inductee to Major. That's amazing how that works.
That is
That's
unbelievable.
yeah, I know. Look it up. It's true. Okay. So,
That is so cool.
yep. The other guy, number 17, Todd Helton. He's the best player we've ever had. Todd is an incredible player. He played football and baseball in college at the University of Tennessee. He was the backup quarterback. The starter got hurt. Todd runs in, twists his knee after 3 games, The coach says, what am I gonna do? And Todd says, look down the end of the bench for that skinny kid who was playing high school football last year. That Peyton Manning guy, I think he's gonna be okay. So they've remained best friends ever since. So Todd is the only player in Major League Baseball history who has had back-to-back 100-plus extra base hit seasons. People have had two, but never two in a row. Todd's the only guy to do it. Okay? Now, I don't have as many 17s as I do 33s, but Todd Helton's number is 17. He played for the Rockies for 17 years. Yeah. Pretty good player. Questions? You okay, Ronnie? We ready to go? Let's go down to the clubhouse. Oh, what is Todd's longest hitting streak? 17. Baseball's crazy with numbers, right?
Thank you.
This is the middle door to the Rockies clubhouse. We don't get to go in there. They keep their stuff there all year round. If anybody wants to come back to Denver at the end of January, we have Rockies Fest. We open the clubhouse to everybody. The players are in there. They're signing autographs and talking to people. We have all kinds of different fun things. I think it's the 24th or 25th of January next year. Check it out. If you're heading back this way, stop in. But this is the middle door. It's only, yeah, we're going to. So we're going to walk to the main entrance. That's half the distance. Now, Major League Baseball says we have to provide similar yet not identical facilities. So the Rockies clubhouse is 21,000 square feet. Now, similar yet not identical is the visitors clubhouse, which is 11,000 square feet. The Rockies have 2 batting and pitching tunnels. Visitors have 1. The Rockies batting and pitching tunnels are right behind the dugout. Now, similarly, visitors batting and pitching tunnel, the one they get, is as far accidentally from the field as it can be put. So when the game starts, they don't bother going over there. Okay, so we have 2. Rockies have a gigantic weight room. The visitors is about a third the size, but they still have a good weight room. The Rockies actually have a barber shop inside their clubhouse because you know if you're squeaking by on $5-6 million a year, you can't afford a haircut at a corner barber. The visitors can come over and get one, but they generally don't. The room over here is for the Rockies children. We hire nannies to watch them during the game. We similarly have one for the visitors. So let's go down the hall and visit the visitor clubhouse. The barber shop. The Rockies have their own restaurant inside their clubhouse with 2 chefs to prepare their food. Visitors don't get that. So anyway. We clean up a nut that way.
It's brand new.
Well, 2013 or 14 or
Just after my road trip.
That is the main door to the Rockies clubhouse. We've walked only half the distance. The building behind you guys is the restaurant for the people who sit behind home plate. So they buy their tickets and I used to say get free food, but it's included in the price of their tickets. If you want to sit behind home plate, we generally sell them in packages. It's usually about $305 a seat, which isn't bad. But you got to buy 4 seats, which isn't bad. But you got to buy 81 games. Now it's getting worse. And you got to buy 3 years. So it's not exactly free food, right? Okay, but it's sold out. You can't get those seats there. Yeah, like 287,000 or something. Did you do it in your head?
No.
Am I right?
I
Just
don't-
say yeah, I'm right. Okay, good. We had Ramirez come in the last off season, put up the highlights of Rockies history. These are some of the best players we've had, some of the highlights. Todd Helton, Charlie Blackmon, Matt Holliday, Nolan Arenado. Let's go into the visitors clubhouse. Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki.
I always love seeing clubhouses.
This is national.
Go on in, grab a seat along the perimeter or at the tables if you like. We'll spend maybe 5 minutes here talking about what happens. Still pretty nice, right? Yeah, one of the nicer visitor clubhouses. All right, visitors clubhouse. Two main things. We have 50 lockers here. The Rockies have 50 lockers. The Rockies lockers are wider. But 50 lockers, no more is enough for the visiting team. They usually have a traveling party of about 70. We have auxiliary lockers across the hallway. Three main things we do for the visiting team. Number one, the glamour of Major League Baseball. We do laundry. They're usually coming here from another city. Their uniforms are dirty. They go to their 5-star hotel, can't be forced, their 5-star hotel for a good night's sleep. The uniforms show up here. So we get everything washed, get it hung up, all the equipment clean, and it's ready for the players when they show up. It's not unusual for us to have to do 250 towels a day, because these guys take multiple showers and use multiple towels. Why do they take multiple showers? Well, they'll come in, hang up the street clothes, change into their workout clothes, go to the weight room, get out on the field, take a shower, take batting practice, take a shower, play a game, take a shower. So 250 towels is not unusual. The second thing we do is we feed them 3 times a day. Now, the Rockies have their own restaurants. We don't have to worry about how we feed them, but we send 28 menus to the visiting team and they tell us what they want. So if it's a 6:40 game at night, they'll start showing up here about 12:30. When they come in, there will be food set out here for them. Good food from upscale restaurants. It's going to be City Grill, Maggiano's, and they'll lift weights, hang out, eat food, have a good time, change into their batting practice uniforms, go take batting practice, so put that food away. When they come in for batting practice, their second meal will be waiting for them. This is going to be, we call it grab and go, it's quick stuff, because they only have 45 minutes to an hour. So they'll have soup and salads and Qdoba and stuff like that to eat before the game. Change into the game uniform, go out and play a baseball game. After the baseball game, come in and eat for a third time. And this is the really good stuff. This is the filet mignon and the Chilean sea bass and anything else they want if they have a special request. Speaking of the Cincinnati Reds, Ken Griffey Jr. had a special request, but he was easy. When he played and came here, he sat in that locker right by where Don is standing. He always wanted a double Whopper with cheese. Ken's coming to town, we're going to Burger King, right? Whatever they want, that's what we're going to do. The third thing we do is anything else to keep these guys happy. If they forgot something, their earbuds, whatever, we're going to help them get it taken care of. Our best story of a player forgetting something is a picture of the rookie pitcher of the Mets 2 years ago. Came in, and everybody else was this Saturday. Everybody else was going around the clubhouse, high-fiving each other, saying, "Here's what I got my mother, or my wife, or my girlfriend for Mother's Day." And this poor guy said, "Well, she's here. Cover her ears." He said something like, "Oh my, I forgot." So he's here. I'm in big trouble. So he goes to the clubhouse manager, Alan, says, "AB, help me out." Alan says, "Fine. What does she like?" So this kid says, "Handbags." So Alan said, "Well, what kind?" He said, "Louis something." So go back to the computer, pull up the Louis Vuitton website, find it. And these bags have names. I didn't know that until Alan told me the story. He went up to the Louis Vuitton store, bought Ursula the handbag for $2,200, stopped on his way back to the clubhouse to pick up a Mother's Day card. He came in, gave the player the handbag, the player reimbursed him, gave him the card, he signed it, "Love you, I would never forget." We express mailed it off out of our mailroom over across the hallway. She got her Mother's Day gift on Mother's Day. So pretty good, right? Whatever we need. So what do we do? Laundry, food, and marriage advice. Question?
Who was it?
I don't remember. All I know is he's still happily married. Another real quick, similar yet not identical, back in the back is visitors batting and pitching tunnels. It's a long way. Okay. They also have a training room with 3 massage tables and a hot tub and a cold tub. So the Rockies must have more hot tubs, more cold tubs, a sauna, a jacuzzi, a whirlpool, a resistant swimming pool, a therapy pool. If you hurt your knee and you can't bend it to get in the pool, it doesn't matter. The floor comes up and gets you and lowers you back down. They have a sensory deprivation tank. You can float in Epsom salts of water. They have meditation pods, sleeping pods, and whatever else they want, we're going to have here for the Rockies and the visiting team. We try to help them out. We good? So what we're going to do, we're going to go down the umpires tunnel, where the umpires and the people from the fancy restaurant go to the field. We're going to come up behind home plate. Don't go past the end of the brick wall, because we're working on both dugouts. Don't go on the grass, but let's go take some pictures. We good? That's it. I knew you'd be okay. The last off season, this is the umpires lounge. Now, why did we have to renovate the umpires lounge? Well, the season before, there was a young lady umpire, Jen Powell, AAA. She was on the backup list for this year. We knew she'd get called up, so we had to make it available for her. So we renovated the entire umpires lounge to put a female umpire area in there. She actually showed up at umpire game here. It's kind of fun. So go down, take some pictures, ask any last questions.
I'm assuming the Hall of Fame, they only go to like Venezuela person will only go to their Hall of Fame, not Tombstone. They never go home, right? That's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you get teams, some teams have their own Hall of Fame. Players are in there just so the Army. So the Yankees have a Hall of Fame. You can go there and visit Yankee Stadium, I'm sure, Dodger Stadium with all the gold gloves and everything.
I mean Cooperstown, just for the,
Right, for baseball, Hall of Fame, for all teams.
for all teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're inducted, all those guys that got Hall of Fame and staying there in Cooperstown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now Hal's already a step ahead of me, touching the warning track. The warning track is crushed red lava rock. Players love this. You can tell the minute you leave the grass. Right now that feels different, right? Don't step on the grass. It feels different than grass. They love it. Crushed lava rock. Take a couple pictures. If you need help taking a picture, ask Don or myself. We'll take a team picture for you. Think of any last questions? Happy to do it.